Welcome to today's video. This is all about dupes. I have so many amazing dupes that I found for you guys. Some of them are Rare Beauty, some of them are Haus Labs. I even have a dupe for a Nars product. If you want to save some money and still have the same beautiful look, stay with me and let's check out today's dupes. I know a lot of people love the Benefit Gimme Brow. I found something that I think is actually better and it's cheaper. This is Magic Brows by mcobeauty, and it's got a really cute little spoolie. It is really good to just give you those little bit of extra hairs and keep your brows in place. So I'm gonna do one side of my face with it and I'll leave the other. And I've done this side of my face with the Magic Brows by mco. You can see I have a lot more fibers happening on this side. This side is a lot kind of flatter. It's not as well shaped. This side, I did have a bit of a gap here, which is now filled in, and all I've done is comb through the Magic Brows. I love this product. It's Australian. I believe you can get it overseas. If you are in Australia, you can pick it up at Chemist Warehouse or at Woolworths. All right, my next product has caused a fair bit of controversy online, but I wanted to show you guys both of them so that you can make a decision for yourself as to which brand you want to support. Now, one of them I have owned for so long that the writing has come off the packaging, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. You can see mine has almost come off because it is so well loved. The one that's caused all the stir is the mco Flawless Glow. It's almost identical packaging. And obviously a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about that. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I'm just here to show you the two products side by side and you guys can make your own decision. So I am going to put the drugstore brand, so the mco, on this side, and this is going to be the original. So you can see already just from the marks on my face that the mco is a little lighter. So this is shade 2 in the Charlotte and shade 1 in the mco. Blended out, I don't feel like you can see a color difference. Yeah, I don't feel like I can tell which is which, really. I mean, on the camera, on the screen, this maybe looks a bit thinner. But all in all, I feel like these are pretty similar. I don't think, you're gonna be on the street and someone's gonna say, oh, that's Charlotte Tilbury. I don't think anyone's gonna really know. Again, I'm not gonna get into the politics of what each brand has or hasn't done. These are the products, this is how they look. If you follow me on my other social media pages, you'll know that I love, love, love this Haus Labs Triclone Foundation is my #1 pick. I love this. It looks like my skin but better, and the color match is just spot on. I love this product. Now, I did see online a lot of people were saying that this, the Flower Beauty Light Illusion, I've heard is very, very similar, and the description is that it gives you a luminous makeup nude skin feel, which is kind of what Haus Labs does, right? So let's have a look. So I have noticed that the Haus Labs is a lot more watery, whereas the flower is a lot thicker. Okay, so I'm going to do one pump of my Haus Labs. You can see how well used this is onto my little palette. You can see it's quite watery. And then we'll do a pump of the flower. And you can see that's a lot thicker. But let's see how they are on. Reminder, this is going to be the original, this is going to be the dupe. Now, I'm going to apply these with a sponge because I feel like that's what most people do, and I want to reflect what you would be doing at home. That's the Haus Labs, and you can see that it has really evened out my skin tone, and it's really got rid of all of my redness. It's just made my skin look like my skin, but better. It doesn't look foundation-y, it doesn't look cakey, it just looks clear. So now let's go in with the flower. So this is Flower Beauty, this is Haus Labs. I feel like both of them do look very skin-like. I feel that this one is not as good a color match. It is slightly too dark, but it does still give me that more skin-like look than what a normal foundation would. This, however, I just feel is a much better color match for me, and it's a bit thinner, so you can see more of my actual skin. If I could afford it, I would definitely still go for the Haus Labs because I just feel as though it's a more natural finish. Now the next product I don't have the original of. It's sold out everywhere. This is a copy of the YSL Highlighter Pen. So this is the MCO version of the YSL Highlighter Pen. This just came out recently. It came out at the same time as this. Whilst it does say it's a highlighter pen, I would implore you to consider it more as concealer, because when you put it on, you'll see it's not really a glittery look or anything like that. It's more of a concealer than a highlighter. I guess it's really great for kind of doing like these bits, like if you want to lighten up kind of smaller areas. I am going to use this on both sides because, like I said, I don't have the original. So I do really like this product. I do think it's really handy. I love that you can kind of use it on the go. I sometimes find that, you know, taking a full-size concealer around can be quite cumbersome, I guess. But if there is another concealer dupe that I would recommend checking out, it's again Flower Beauty. This is just like the Hourglass concealer. It's a very similar texture. I will just show you on here, like powdery feel about it. It's not particularly cakey. It's very light and it gives some nice coverage if you are looking for a different dupe. Next up is another Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I have the original Charlotte Tilbury in one of these. It has been destroyed by my puppy though. I have the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter wand, puppy destroyed, and then we have the MCO highlighter wand. So you can tell packaging is very, very similar. Let's see how the products themselves. So when applying the Charlotte Tilbury one, I find that you don't have a lot of time to really work with it. I just think it gives out way too much product. The MCO one is kind of more on the other end of the spectrum. You don't really get enough product, but again, you get some time to work with it. You do get the same kind of payoff. The Charlotte's probably a little more shiny, but I did put way too much on, so it's probably not a fair comparison. So let's do a hand swatch and you guys can judge for yourself. On this side, this is the Charlotte Tilbury and this is the MCO. They do have a very similar payoff. Again, I would say the Charlotte is probably just that little bit more shimmery, but very, very, very similar products. All right, now I don't have the original in this product, but I do have the dupe. Again, the packaging, I just don't love it. And I'm not gonna spend the money on packaging I don't love, but I do have the dupe. So this is the MCO Instant Contour, again, a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. So we're gonna go in on both sides of this. This is the light medium. So that's both sides done with the MCO contour. So all the bronzer really, it's not really cool enough for a contour, but what do we think? The next ones I have for you is a blush. So everybody knows NARS Orgasm, and I have a incredible dupe for that. So this is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. If you have a look, it is a very similar shade with the gold flecks in it. This is a little mini of the Orgasm. You can see they're very similar. So we're gonna do the NARS on this side and Milani on this side. Milani and NARS. Milani, NARS. I think they are very, very similar. They have the similar kind of tone. They both have that gold kind of reflect. They both look very similar to me. I don't think I would be able to tell the difference out on the street. So again, if you're on a budget, I think this is a really good dupe. For lips, I have quite a few dupes for you. So I'm gonna start with the most obvious dupe, a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk dupe. This is a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk dupe. I bet you can't even tell which is which looking at them this way. I'll show you. We've got a Charlotte Tilbury and we've got an MCO. So again, very, very similar. One is called Pillow Talk, one is called Cheeky Chat. All right, so this is both of them on. This is Charlotte Tilbury, this is MCO. Can you guys tell the difference? Feeling it, the Charlotte is definitely creamier, but very, very, very similar yet again. I've done my best to remove the Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to show you another dupe. So this next one is a Nars dupe. This is the Nars Balm that we all love, and this is an MCO. The MCO, they did release 4 shades. There are a lot more shades in the Nars range. I don't have them all, I've only got the one, but in the MCO you have all 4 of these shades. I will put a picture up here of the swatches of those if you want to see all of them, but we're going to focus just on this one. Obviously the component again is very similar. You've got that mirrored packaging. In terms of the color, very similar. Let's see how they apply. If you don't like scent, the MCO is not for you. The MCO smells like peaches or fruit or something. This is the MCO. It is a slightly different shade to the Nars. On the lip, they feel very similar. Can't really tell much of a difference between how they feel, but again, very similar products, and again, slightly different shade color, but again, these are a really great dupe. All right, I have to admit, this is the dupe that I personally am the most excited for. This is a product that I absolutely love. It's recently been released. I own 3 of them, and I found out that there was a drugstore version of it before it even came out. So we're talking about the Rare Beauty lip oils. I love these. I think they're incredible. If you haven't tried them, they are more of a lip tint than an oil. They'll go on, and even if you take it off, if you swatch it, you won't get it off your hand. It is incredible, and it feels kind of like minty, but not painful, and very soft. It just makes you feel very moisturized. I love it. The copy or the dupe of this is by Flower Beauty yet again. So Flower Beauty have lip tints, and they're very similar. These shades are by no mean a match. I have the shade Delight in the Rare Beauty on this side, and the shade Tempt in the Flower Beauty on this side. You can see they are very similar consistencies. They look very jelly-like. They feel very much the same. They both feel minty. And if I take this off, I can almost guarantee my lips are going to be stained. So let me take them off. I've taken both of them off, and you can see I still have a stain on both sides. It's a different color. One is just cheaper than the other. I hope you enjoyed these dupes. If you did, I'd love to hear about some that you found, or if you've used these yourself, what do you think of them? Do you enjoy them? If you think you know makeup and you can pick high-end from drugstore, come and join me on my Instagram. I do a daily poll, I try and do it daily at least, where you guys choose whether what I'm wearing is high-end or drugstore, or whether it's a mix of both. So if you think that you can work it out, come and join me over on Instagram. I'm at recommendations from Rach everywhere across all socials. I'd love if you could like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.